Well, hello, everybody. My name is John Taylor, and welcome to the Connect Show. Yay! It's episode 45, season 3, and we are off and running with our month, and it's all about making your business be more productive. I need a little bit of that. How about you?
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Word. All right, and today I have my two co-hosts with me today, and it's so summery and vibrant. We got the tan cam on.
Hey.
Kim and Heike. Kim, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Hi, everybody. I am Kim Knock. My business is Opportunities Knocking. I do social media management, a lot of marketing, event planning, all the fun, good stuff. Some fun and exciting things have been happening throughout the last week. I have been enjoying summer. Wisconsin summer is so short. So I was out all weekend. We had graduation parties. I took the kids to the zoo. And it was a good time. I stayed outside as much as I could. So
Awesome.
How about you?
I've been outside too, but in terms of what I do, I am the owner of IdeaShare Coaching. I help people with LinkedIn, no matter if it's to find customers, find clients, find team members, vendors, whatever you want to do on LinkedIn, I can help.
Awesome.
So today we are so pumped to have our guests. Pumped and green. Emily Fell and Nathan Fear. John, Heike, and I are looking forward to our conversation with them very much.
John,
I am Ron Burgundy.
How much are you looking forward to the conversation? Are you going to have this conversation on your own?
Well, I'm just Ron Burgundy. I know she's going to put something about San Diego in there. All right, go ahead.
Oh, my goodness. We also have to thank our hosting sponsor, Expansive Workspace, where we broadcast the Connect Show weekly, live every Tuesday, right here, Studio A5. Expansive is a great place to work at. I haven't talked about the water in a really long time, but we've always had some fabulous water. So
they got water.
Yeah, I got to get the water.
Which is a good thing. There you go.
Our locations, we are in the Tosa location. There's downtown Milwaukee, Madison, and all throughout the country. Check them out on expansive.com.
Awesome. As always, we're very thankful that you have come to watch the Connect Show. If you have a topic that we should be discussing, please email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com. Always looking for feedback.
Thank you so much to our guests from last week, Abby and Jody. I can barely remember last week. Last week was great. It was like the first time, though, that I haven't been here the whole time in a while, so I got to really view the whole thing, actually like listen and see the different actions. It was kind of nice. It's been like a year, so that was a good time.
It was really interesting what they talked about. One was with Orange Sneakers, talking about customized fitness routines, and the other guest from lacrosse, she traveled a ways to come in here, talked about helping people find retirement homes, nursing homes for their family members. It's very interesting. So make sure to check that episode from last week.
Mm-hmm. So, the show is better when it's interactive. So be sure to put your comments into the chat. Here, let's find the little chat thing in here. Comment in the chat with the little arrows. Boom. There we go. So make it interactive. Be a part of the conversation. And we would love to hear from you.
Tell us where you're watching from, even if it's after the replay, right?
There you go.
We are all volunteers here at the Connect Show. If you like the show, want to get involved, we need help in every portion that we can. We love the volunteers. Email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com. We have to thank everybody that's involved, even those that contribute via the chat like we were just talking about. We're in it together, and we are here to help businesses grow.
Together forever with you. We go.
Are we hearing from a volunteer, or was that just an add-in?
No, she's just throwing stuff in there. Making it fun.
We got it.
Yep.
How about our quote of the day?
All right. So the quote of the day: don't spread yourself too thin. Focus trumps freneticism. That's a hard word.
I'm glad you got that.
Okay, again, focus trumps freneticism any day. John Coleman, founder of Via Agency.
So I think the question of the day should be, what does freneticism mean? That would be a great QOD.
We're going to talk about a quote. I don't even know what the word means. So if someone wants to Google or knows what that
I think that just means being totally frantic and scurrying from one thing to the next.
Got it.
I knew that. I just wanted to see if you knew it.
All right.
Oh.
And who knows, somebody's going to prove me wrong.
You never know.
So let's get the party started with the question of the day. And the question of the day is, how do you prioritize your tasks for your business to be the most productive and use your time wisely? Ooh, time.
I like the
What has
scramble
become
effect.
of me? Yeah?
Yeah, I like the scramble effect. I do what I got to do when I got to do it, and that's kind of how it goes
There
for
you
me
go.
right now. I'm productive all the time. Is it best time spent? No, but I'm still productive.
The chaos theory.
Yeah.
And we can put a K on it so it's yours, Kim.
Oh,
Boom.
Oh,
There we
now
go.
That's a new
Branding.
one.
There we
thank
go.
you. Trademark that for me.
I love it. Love it.
Awesome.
Kim's
Hashtag-
chaos.
Yes.
Yep.
I find time blocking helps. So plan ahead in your schedule and actually block out the time, even if it's for something like answering emails and things like that. Of course, you have to have some free times in there too for the unexpected. But
There's always unexpected, and that's what gets me.
I'm a little more aspirational with that time blocking than and I should be, because I put the
Exactly.
time blocks in and then do something else anyway.
Because what do you do if the phone rings?
Yeah.
During that time block, do you ignore it?
Well,
You could put it on
you
silent.
should.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't know.
I don't. And then that sidetracks me from the
Yeah.
current task
Right.
that I was in.
Yeah.
And then I start another thing, and then I have to go back to the task. So yeah, who comes first is a very tough decision.
The chicken or the egg?
I don't know.
Right.
So for prioritizing tasks, for me, I could almost say that. First thing I would do is get a speech therapist so I could learn how to say something like that. And then the second thing I would do would be I stopped making a to-do list and put everything on the calendar.
Uh-huh.
And then whatever I put on the calendar, I add 25 to 30% more time to it because I always underestimate how much time it will take. So then I put more time in there. Then I also put in blank time as number 2. That's from Warren Buffett. He has an extraordinarily unbusy calendar for being the richest person in the world, or one of. And having that time and that space to think, I think, is very important. And then the third thing is the Pomodoro method, which is working for a period of time and then stopping work and doing something else to refresh and recalibrate. And so,
super important.
Yeah, so I do the 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes of work, try to be very focused, turn off the phone. I sometimes even put it in the other room. I do a lot of editing, so it's in a dark room. It's kind of in a cave. It's a little weird.
You can't be interrupted during that.
Yeah.
You really can't.
So I just focus in. Then when I'm done with that, then I go for a walk. If I'm here, the bathroom is 4 weeks away by wagon train. So there's always a good adventure and ways to use my time.
These are all goals and things that I want to do, but I just don't do it. I need to just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Gee, someone has that tagline stolen already.
So Jody K. Benusa said, if you can only work 10 hours a week, it would be helping her clients find a right place to live so they can live their best life. Jody was on the show last week.
I love
Welcome
that.
last week.
Saint, I'm telling you.
Absolutely. And as John is running things behind the scenes today, he will pop up your, he's not really behind the scenes, right next to me. I just made that up.
I
He's
can
going
put
to
a
put your
curtain here and it
questions,
could be
commentary.
weird. No? Okay.
He'll put your questions, your comments, everything in the chat. So make sure that you're interacting with us. And we're here to answer your questions, especially once our guests are on. Definitely feel free to ask them questions.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. Boom.
Boom. On.
There we go.
Wow, you really
Boom.
producered that out.
Producer the hell out of it.
Sure.
Producer AF. Okay.
I love this.
There we go.
We have our very first guest for the morning, Emily Fell. Since Emily was on the show back in March, she's been marketing her business like crazy, while also enjoying time with her children. She was at the Collective Marketplace at Bayshore this past Saturday. She met a lot of people and made some awesome connections. She will also be at the Shoppers Market at Mayfair this Saturday.
So being a single mom during the summer and trying to work, find child daycare is definitely a challenge, but she always finds a way, prioritizing her children, her business, and her part-time job is like juggling three balls of fire and not getting burned by any of them. Boom. That's like Tony Robbins.
I don't know
All
how.
right.
Go ahead.
It's all
I need to
about
know how.
priorities and making sure the important things get taken care of purposely. Get there. Okay. And the other stuff will get done when it gets done. Love it. She works at Smart Moves and Modern Wooden of America. Productivity is her number one goal. Her children are her priority. So welcome back to the show, Emily. So glad to have you here.
Thank you. I enjoy being on the show and helping out with the show, and I'm so glad to be helping you guys and Tracy. It's awesome.
Extra shout out. She's a volunteer also.
Boom.
Extra shout out.
Yep.
So let's talk about, the question of the day is how do you prioritize your tasks for your business to be the most productive and use your time wisely?
That is a great question. Okay, so like you read in my bio, my children come first. So like my daughter's here with me right now, but I just make time for her, and like I try and plan my day. But then if she needs me at some other time where I didn't plan on it, I need to take care of her. And of course, my daughter, she has autism, and so I need to make sure that her education is taken care of. And like during the summer, she needs some summer camps and some like not being on her iPad all the time, because God forbid she's on a device all day. And let's see, of course, my son, I do have a son, and so I need to make sure that his needs are met. So he is Mr. Sports Guy. So I make sure I go to all of his games: baseball, lacrosse, football, soccer. Am I missing something? Probably. But I make sure that I'm where I need to be when I need to be there, and my kids come first. And yeah, that's all I can say about that for right now.
I love that your children are a priority. And how do you take some of those things with your children being the number one goal, number one priority? You're doing vendor markets, marketing, follow up. How are some specific ways that you prioritize your business?
Well, I planned ahead. I made sure I found out about those vendor markets, and then if it wasn't my weekend with my children, then I would say, hey, ex-husband, can you please, take the kids this day? And it actually worked out because it's the summer and they have things planned, and so they got to go camping instead of being stuck at home or whatever. So it works out. I don't know how it does, but somehow it works out. But yeah, my kids do come first, but I also have to, like my kids have a fun summer, but I also have to take care of my business. So I just make sure that I'll find a way to do it. I even it out. I make sure it's, everyone gets their fair share of attention, my kids, my business. And then typically, like lately, I've been working late at night just to get my stuff done. Like the kids are in bed and I have time to not have to worry about anything else. And I use my time at night to get my business stuff done that I won't have any other distractions.
As a mom with kids, that's when I am the most productive. They're asleep. It's 11 at night. I shouldn't be working and have my face on the computer, but I am. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, my daughter is 13, so she sleeps very late now. She stays up all night doing the Fortnites and all those things. And so I wake up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and then I have that whole runway before she wakes up, and it's golden time. That's when things get done. The GSD time.
Mm-hmm. Superb. So, I'm sorry, I'm lost. I missed the whole communication here.
Oh, you want to ask that next question?
Sure. So, what do you do to be more productive? I think we already answered that, though.
How about some specifics?
Do you have a calendar tip or two?
Well, yes. I mean, like people have said, as soon as you like get an evite or an invite for an event, put it in your calendar because otherwise I will forget. That's probably the main thing. And just like.
So what is your? Sorry to interrupt, but I may have missed it. What is your primary business?
Oh, I totally forgot to say that. Website design that shines. I create websites. And actually, I finally figured out my target market last night when I was doing my work for my business last night. I mean, I kind of had a general idea, but I really just narrowed it down. It was just kind of like the light bulb went off. My own brain is shining, and I'm ready to go. I narrowed my target market to autism organizations like charities, foundations, kind of thing, and then also just in general charities and foundations that don't have anything to do with autism. And then my kind of fun one would be restaurants, because I help Tracy out with like the fish fry guide and stuff. And so I find out all these restaurants, and a lot of them don't have websites. So I'm like, bingo. So I'll be going to a lot of fish fries.
I think that's great, because so many restaurants and small businesses like that just do not understand the importance of a website. Right. They think, I've got Facebook, I'm good enough.
Oh gosh, how annoying is that ever?
It's not good enough. However, so many people are leaving social media platforms like that. And if that's the only place you're putting your menu, you're losing a huge, huge audience. So
not just that, but even when they have a website, often you're on your phone and you have to download the menu. You just put your menu on the website.
Exactly.
So I don't have to clog up my phone with all these downloads.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy for you for finding your little niche and what works, and it sounds like it fits you perfectly. So
yes, it does.
Yep. Super happy to have you on the show again. Do you have an offer, an event, or anything you'd like to share with the audience today?
Actually, it's on my website. It's like front and center. No clicking needed. I donate 10% of each website package to an autism organization, and then therefore, when that happens, the client gets 10% off of their website. So 10% off for everyone that's watching right now.
I love that.
That's awesome.
You can find more information on Emily. And if you need that bright, shiny website, you can go to theconnectshow.com/Emily Fell. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It was awesome.
Amazing.
Amazing. So, you know what we got to do? There we go.
Yay. I got my own cover. This is fantastic.
Now I just got to find you is the problem. So let's see if we can do that.
All right. So we're going to be moving on to Heike's LinkedIn Insights.
No, John's trying.
He's still trying.
The camera died. So, you just get to use 3.
We'll
all right.
Use it next time.
We'll be here to root you on.
That's
there
fabulous.
You go.
So edition number 2 of Heike's LinkedIn Insights. Let's talk about a much overlooked feature that is very useful for people who run their own business. And it is the company page that you can create on LinkedIn. It gives you extra credibility and features that can function like a small secondary website. It's not replacing your regular website. It's an add-on. It's free of charge, and you can simply duplicate your content that you're already creating elsewhere. So it is best to create this company page separately. Some people set up their personal profile as a company page, and that is a LinkedIn no-no. If LinkedIn figures that out, that you're doing that, they may take it down. So your company page is free. It's easy to set up. It is a space for sharing company news, articles, job openings, accomplishments of your company or your staff. You can create events through your company page as well, and then invite people that follow this company page. So LinkedIn helps you get the news out, and you can do more, but that probably goes beyond my my time slot here. So if you don't have a company page yet for your own personal business, make sure to set it up. That way, on your personal profile, you don't have that little gray box with nothing, but you could actually have your logo there. That only works if it's tied to a official company page. And if you need help, reach out to me. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Make sure you get my name spelling from the show notes, and I can answer some questions for you. Back over to the team.
Thank you so much. Do you have a company page?
I do for many companies, actually.
The Chaos Theory?
Yes, the Chaos Theory.
There we go.
It works. You know what? One of my favorite things about that is the events. I
Yeah.
get a lot of exposure when I actually use it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
So like
Events
for
are
my
really good.
PWOW event, my women's networking event, I have gotten a lot of people just through the LinkedIn event.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely believe in it. And my side note to that,
Mhm.
you should have one for every, if you have a bunch of little companies
Yes.
or you represent
Yep.
different networking groups or whatever,
Right.
creating pages for all
It
of them.
absolutely gives you that extra credibility
Mhm.
and the extra exposure. Yeah,
Google likes it. too.
definitely. Yes, absolutely.
Google likes it. So our
Mhm.
next guest is Nathan Fear, and he's a Milwaukee native. And he's also a UW-Madison graduate, former lawyer turned TV writer and producer. Interesting. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, you do.
And now the CEO of Megilla. And a tip you'd give to business owners, leaders, entrepreneurs would be that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And that is the best sales and tech strategy. Listening is the most important quality in any leader company.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show. We're going to refer back to the audience question. How do you prioritize your tasks for your business to be the most productive and use your time wisely? Welcome.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm honored to be here. You want me to answer the question right now?
Sure. Go for it. Let's go.
It would be the best use of my time to prioritize. A lot of it, I have 2 young kids, so a lot of it is kind of managing my time, as the other person just said moments ago. A lot of it is writing down my list of priorities, what stresses me out. So I write it down the night before so I can look at it. I review it in the morning. I cross it off. And it's kind of based on urgency. So most of my job as the founder of this small company is sales. So a lot of it is based on maintaining my clients. What do I need to do to communicate with them, give them best practices, and help them? That's always the first thing. In sales, it's always reaching to people and kind of the art of the nudge. So I have a list of people that I have to reach out to again and again and again and again. Everyone's increasingly busy in this chaotic world. And then monitoring the tech, making sure my tech team has everything they need. So a lot of it is just what's stressing me out and what are the biggest priorities. We're a relatively small software startup. So the good thing is that I can help create a lot of that workflow myself. And as referrals come in and we meet new people and I have great opportunities like this, I do my due diligence. I can delegate some of it, but I take a lot of great pride in kind of preparing ahead of time. So a lot of it is. Go ahead.
No, I just said I like that. That's good. Keep going.
Thanks.
Sorry.
That's a lot of it. It's just pretty standard in terms of time management. I write out my calendar so I can see it. Calendar on my phone, I read and I can refer to who's next. A lot of it is based on stress relation. What can I do to minimize my stress, satisfy our clients, and kind of get new clients ahead of time? All of that.
That's kind of how that's my chaos method, but he said it much prettier.
Yeah.
Like I do the things that stress me out more.
Right, right.
It's a little
The
bit of chaos,
deadline
but
thing.
yes, I like to write the thing down and it feels so satisfying to cross it off.
Yeah.
So satisfying.
I like to highlight something that just sort of was mentioned in passing. It's that nudging your clients over and over. A lot of people these days seem to assume that you only have to talk to someone once or twice and they'll either do business with you or they won't. But really, just like with actual advertising, you have to stay in touch because they may not be ready to buy, but they want to buy just maybe 3 or 6 months from now.
Mhm.
So it's that repeated connection and not just, hey, you want to buy from me, but building a relationship over time. That is so important in sales. And it sounds like you've got that down.
I don't know if I have it down. I'm happy to take all the advice I can, but it's just a lot of following up and the art of the nudge. And a lot of it, I think, has to be being authentic too, being able to solve real problems and talk to people about really. It kind of goes back to John, what you mentioned, which is two ears, 1 mouth. I have to kind of listen to what their problems are and be able to address them properly.
So what kind of software options do you provide?
We're a B2B company, so we license our software to. I like it more when I can see you guys, not myself. Can we switch to that? I have a small ego in that regard. We are a software provider. So we basically provide a web app, not a mobile app, to our clients to help them collect. It's all video content. It's user-generated content. So we work with live festivals, conferences, music festivals, museums, a lot of nonprofits, and we help them collect content that is used for marketing purposes. So it's essentially like a marketing platform. And the hardest part is collecting that content in the easiest way possible. So you go to a music festival, or you talk to your alma mater, or you're part of a nonprofit. They want to collect your story, whether it's a testimonial, ask you a question about your experience, or kind of the genesis into that experience, whatever that was, and all of that. So we just help provide software that really minimizes that experience and helps marketing teams reduce time in their days too. So every decision, we interviewed over 100 teams in marketing and social media companies, took all of that information. And speaking about helping basically be the most productive, every tech decision we made was built for marketing teams to save them time in their day.
That's
Amazing.
awesome. That's awesome. I mean, time is the only thing you can ever get back once it's spent, and being able to save other people time, that's certainly valuable.
So this is a fun one. Tell us about one time you lied your way into teaching comedy improv at a senior community and how it changed your life.
Did I write?
Let me spotlight him just so he can tell us a story about how he lied.
It's
okay,
all
go
about
ahead.
you. Tell us about how you're a big liar.
I forgot that I wrote that on the form. Just let me meet with my therapist. I'll be right back. I moved from New York to Los Angeles. I was in New York working in finance for a minute, and I made a big switch to become an entertainment professional and moved to LA to be a writer producer. My first job here was being a casting producer for Undercover Boss. Was kind of finding those bosses during the day. I was working with an incredible team of really smart people, but I was new to LA. I didn't know a lot of people, and I just felt like I had a great relationship with my grandparents growing up. I'm a firstborn generation American, and my parents were born in DP camp, displaced persons camp, after the war. My grandparents had a lot of stories that they did not share, but shared a lot of wisdom. So I always felt like I always wanted to attach myself to older people for the wisdom that I could soak up through just osmosis and being in their presence. So I went to this senior living community, lied to them, telling them that my grandmother was going to move in. That evolved into basically me saying that I had been teaching improv in New York for about 10 years. And the woman that I had a great rapport with basically said, why don't you come and teach them improv here? And I spent like 4 to 5 hours talking to friends that night who were in comedy improv in LA. I did a ton of research online, wrote up a totally fake but real curriculum, sent it in, got it approved, and taught comedy improv to like 90-year-olds for about 8 or 9 months. And it was amazing. It was life-changing for me. I felt like I had 9 espressos by the time I was leaving. And it always just kind of devolved from comedy improv into conversation. I would just be like, listen, I'm not married, I'm single, I've got this job. Like, what is life about? What is the experience? What is the wisdom you can share with me? So we ended up just sitting around talking, and it was the experience of a lifetime.
Wow, that's amazing.
I love that.
I love that.
That is so fantastic.
It was like it was lying to better everyone around you. It was so good. It's so against lying, but like I get it.
Yeah.
And yet you didn't make a career shift into full-time comedian.
Right.
No. I'm not a comedian.
So why is video storytelling the best way for businesses to grow their brands and communities? Great
question, John. Thank you. It really, if it comes from the right people, it comes from your customers, your fans, your donors, the recipients of that nonprofit or whatever it is. It's asking them the right questions with specificity. And I think video is, listen, COVID changed everything. Look, we're here right now. This might have been a phone call years ago, or, I think COVID accelerated the digital evolution so much. It's probably the only positive byproduct of it. But video is where you see reactions. You see me right now looking at myself, talking to you guys. But video is the true authenticity. You can't really lie on video. Well, you can lie to some degree on video, like to seniors. But basically, but it is the way to connect and people. It is the way to best connect people. It is a visual representation. everybody knows that a picture's worth 1,000 words, a video is probably worth, I don't know the math, but infinity in some regards. And if it comes from a community with an authentic narrative point of view, I think that really helps build community, and it's that connective tissue in so many ways. And there's so many, it's also short content. I think video has to be short. Like my answer should be a little bit shorter here, but basically video has to be short in order to really connect with people, because we have these bite-sized, attention spans that are devolving sadly, but really the best way you can get there is through video content.
And I would imagine that a lot of companies think it's sort of the corporate thing, but your focus is on user-generated content. So why is that so important as an authentic medium for brands to grow?
Thanks. So basically, it's the way to make them feel less transactional and less like spectators. So if you go to a festival, if you're part of a nonprofit, if you're part of any vertical or any community, even if you're a customer and you buy something, outside of just giving your product review or whatever it is, we all just yearn for escaping loneliness and being part of something larger. So having people become part of a community is really important, and being the opportunity to be seen and heard. So for example, we work with nonprofits, and some of these nonprofits want to honor their donors. So my wife and I give to, in very small amounts. We don't have our names on the buildings, but we give in small amounts to some communities, some nonprofits, and we typically just get like a really boring thank you email in return. Thanks for your donation. We appreciate it. It feels very transactional and kind of finite. But when they ask us, some of our clients have started asking donors, what led you to this, like the Genesis moment? What led you to be a donor and involved in this nonprofit? You typically hear those real life personal stories, sometimes that start in suffering but end in community building. Sometimes people want to give back, but you really have an opportunity to be seen and heard, and that's a big part of it. So I think that being part of a community is really the heart of it, and storytelling is the way. And storytelling is the oldest form of entertainment we've ever had. So it's just really echoing back to that with video.
I mean, you created a whole lie to learn stories, so that's great.
Fantastic.
So thank you for being on the show today. Do you have any specials or offers for our audience, or that you like an event coming up?
No big events. I'm running for president. I'm announcing it here today.
Okay. 4 more years. No, wait.
We offer 10 to 15% discounts to all nonprofits that want to partner with us. That's what we do. We always want to make sure that we're mission aligned.
And your next comedy improv training is when?
I got
never mind. All right.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Tracy. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it. It's been an honor to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we do have a page on the website for Nathan. It is theconnectshow.com/Nathan. I'm going to spell it FIRER so that everyone can find you. And thank you so much for being on the show today.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Yep. All
So
right.
what did you think about our guest today, Heike? You
I
got
thought
a
this
full
was
show
awesome.
with me and John.
Yes. Delighted to be up at the front table, the adult table.
I know, right?
I think this whole discussion of time management is really important, because it's so easy to overlook and to just go to what's urgent, to that phone call, to that deadline, and to forget where the priorities should be. So I think, as was mentioned by both our guests, it's so important to prioritize and make sure that the stuff that really needs to come first actually does. So, and I need to work on that. It's work in progress.
I think everyone really does. Who has that down pat?
2 things I learned about time management is Rory Varden. He has he's a time management expert, and he talks about time management as an emotional problem, not a tactical problem.
Oh,
because if you got a GSD, if it's important, it's going to get done. And if it's not important, if you feel it's emotionally not important, it won't.
Yeah.
And then another word of wisdom comes from my mother when I was complaining about not having enough time. She said Da Vinci only had 24 hours.
Yeah,
So-
because really it's not time management, it's task management. We have
Yeah.
to figure out our to-do list, and because the time keeps going anyway, no matter how you spend it.
Mhm.
I'm just over here feeling guilty about my time.
I'm gonna
Don't.
have the Hazy Shade of Winter Bangles version playing in my head because it starts off with time
Yeah.
in my head all day, and now it's in yours. You're welcome. So volunteers, thank you so much. John, now say volunteers, thank you so much for helping out today. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to read that part. It's in red. And thanks to everyone for coming today. Join us next week for our next week's show featuring Samantha Bushman and Aaron Zimdars. I could butcher that a little bit more.
I think you need a nap, John.
There we
I think
go.
you got up too early waiting for your daughter to
More coffee.
Yeah, get stuff done. Maybe you stayed up too late. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the show today. Help our community grow by reaching out, inviting just one person who you feel would benefit from being part of the journey. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all of the good things. If you're on social, this little act goes a long way in our reach. And if you saw something you liked, please comment. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Let's find the button. There we go. That's the go away button.